Have you ever wondered if a daily habit you've followed your whole life could secretly be putting your health at risk? If you're over 65, or you have parents or loved ones in that age group, there's something urgent you need to know. What most of us consider a cornerstone of good hygiene, daily bathing, might be silently harming seniors every single day. As a doctor with over 40 years of experience treating elderly patients, I've uncovered shocking truths that could change the way you think about staying clean. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. Shocking truth number 1. Hot baths can be dangerous for your heart. Have you ever paused to consider what's happening inside your body when you sink into a steaming hot bath? Allow me to break it down for you in detail. When an older adult, say, someone over 65, steps into a tub of hot water, the heat triggers an immediate physiological response. The blood vessels, particularly those near the skin surface, begin to dilate rapidly. In medical terms, this is called vasodilation, and it's the body's natural attempt to release excess heat and maintain a stable internal temperature. This sudden expansion of blood vessels causes blood pressure to plummet, sometimes dramatically. For a young, healthy person, this might result in nothing more than a fleeting moment of lightheadedness, a brief whoa, as they stand up too quickly. But for an older individual, especially one with pre-existing conditions like hypertension, high blood pressure, coronary artery disease, or compromised circulation, this abrupt drop can spell disaster. I'll never forget a patient of mine, a spirited 90-year-old man with a twinkle in his eye, who used to boast to me during every visit, "Doc, I've taken a piping hot bath every single day since I was a teenager. That's the secret to my strength." He was a picture of resilience, or so it seemed. That is, until one frigid January morning when everything changed. He collapsed in his bathroom, felled by a heart attack triggered by that very ritual he swore by. The only reason he survived was sheer luck. His daughter happened to stop by to check on him just as he hit the floor. Paramedics rushed him to the ICU, where he spent days recovering. After that, he never took a bath alone again, and his days of scalding soaks were over. His story stuck with me because it's a stark reminder of a hidden danger many overlook. After age 65, the autonomic nervous system, the intricate network that regulates heart rate, blood pressure, and body temperature, begins to lose its sharpness. It simply can't adapt as swiftly to abrupt shifts, like the transition from a hot bath to the chilly air outside the tub. This sluggish response can lead to a condition called orthostatic hypotension, where blood pressure drops so steeply that it causes dizziness, fainting, or even a fall. Worse still, prolonged exposure to high temperatures ramps up the strain on the cardiovascular system. From my years in clinical practice, I've observed that when someone over 65 lingers in water hotter than 41 degrees Celsius, roughly 106 degrees Fahrenheit, for more than 15 minutes, their heart faces a workload increase of 20 to 30%. That's comparable to the exertion of a brisk walk or a light jog, except you're not moving, you're stationary in a confined, slippery space where a misstep could be catastrophic. So, how can you enjoy a bath without rolling the dice on your health? Here's my detailed, doctor-approved playbook for staying safe. First, dial down the heat. Keep the water temperature between 38 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius, 100 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Test it with your wrist or the back of your hand, not your fingertips. It should feel pleasantly warm, not borderline painful. Second, watch the clock. Limit your soak to 10 minutes or less. That's plenty of time to cleanse and relax without taxing your system. Third, hydrate proactively. Drink a full glass of water before and after your bath. Older adults are already prone to dehydration, which amplifies blood pressure drops, so this step is non-negotiable. Next, rethink your setup. Install a sturdy shower chair in your bathroom and sit while you bathe. Sitting slashes the risk of slipping and gives you a stable base to recover if dizziness strikes. Finally, if you're over 80 or have health concerns, never bathe solo. Tell someone in your household when you're stepping into the tub, or better yet, invest in a bathroom alert system with a pull cord or button you can press in an emergency. These precautions might feel like a hassle at first, but they're a small price to pay to avoid a trip to the ER, or worse. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Shocking truth number 2. Daily bathing can severely damage elderly skin. We all love that squeaky clean feeling after a good scrub, but as you age, your skin begs for a different approach. The older you get, the more delicate and vulnerable your skin becomes, and daily bathing, especially with hot water and harsh soaps, can accelerate damage in ways you might not expect. Let me explain the science behind it. As we age, the skin's natural defenses weaken. By the time you hit 65, your skin produces roughly half the lipids and oils it did in your 20s. These natural moisturizers are what keep your skin supple, smooth, and protected from the elements. When you subject aging skin to a daily barrage of hot water and soap, you're essentially stripping away what little barrier it has left. The heat dissolves those precious oils, while the soap breaks them down further, leaving your skin dry, flaky, and irritated. I saw this firsthand with a patient of mine, a charming 78-year-old woman I'll call Mrs. H. She came to my office last year, distressed by relentless itching that robbed her of sleep. Her arms, back, and legs were covered in red, angry patches of inflamed skin. When I asked about her routine, she looked at me with pride and said, "Doctor, I'm meticulous about cleanliness. I scrub myself head to toe every single day with hot water and soap. It's how I've always done it." After examining her and running a few tests, the culprit was clear. Her skin was so parched and cracked from overwashing that it had become a breeding ground for infection. Under a microscope, we even spotted microtears, tiny breaches in her skin surface that let bacteria slip through. She was devastated, tears welling up as she asked, "Did I cause this just by trying to stay clean?" Sadly, the answer was yes. Her well-intentioned habit had backfired. In a study I collaborated on with dermatologists a few years back, we tracked elderly patients and found that those who bathed with soap more than 4 times a week were 60% more likely to develop clinically significant dry skin, known as xerosis. This isn't just a cosmetic issue, it's a genuine health risk. Dry, cracked skin isn't merely uncomfortable. It's an open invitation to infection. I've treated patients who ended up hospitalized with cellulitis or other skin infections that started as innocent itching. To combat this, I've spent years refining a set of bathing strategies tailored specifically for aging skin, which grows ever more fragile and sensitive with time. These methods prioritize protection and nourishment over aggressive cleansing, and I'll share them with you next. Practical steps to keep your skin healthy without sacrificing hygiene. First, let's consider the frequency of bathing. I strongly advocate scaling back the number of baths or showers to a maximum of 3 times per week. I realize this might come as a shock, particularly if you're accustomed to the ritual of a daily cleanse. It's a habit deeply ingrained in many of us. However, there's a compelling reason behind this shift. As we grow older, our skin undergoes significant changes, one of which is a reduction in the activity of our sebaceous glands. These glands are responsible for producing sebum, the natural oil that coats and protects our skin, keeping it supple and resilient. With age, this oil production diminishes, leaving our skin more vulnerable. When you bathe every day, especially if you're using hot water or strong, detergent-like soaps, you're essentially stripping away what little oil your skin manages to produce. This can result in a host of issues. Dryness that leaves your skin feeling tight and parched, itching that becomes a constant annoyance, and even cracking that can lead to discomfort or infection. Imagine your skin as a protective barrier, like a sturdy shield. If you sand it down daily with excessive washing, it gradually thins out, losing its ability to defend itself. By spacing out your baths, you're allowing your skin the time it needs to replenish its natural oils and regain its strength. It's a simple yet profound act of care you can offer your aging body. Next, let's talk about how you use soap during these less frequent baths. There's no need to lather up your entire body from head to toe every time you step into the shower or tub. Instead, adopt a more targeted approach. Focus your soap use on the areas that truly need it, the ones most susceptible to sweat, odor, and bacterial buildup, such as your armpits, groin, and feet. These spots benefit from a thorough cleaning to keep you feeling fresh and comfortable. However, for the rest of your body, think your arms, legs, back, and chest. A gentler method is often sufficient. A rinse with warm water or a swipe with a soft, damp cloth can do the trick without upsetting your skin's delicate balance. Overwashing these less odor-prone areas, particularly with harsh soaps, can exacerbate dryness and irritation, doing more harm than good. This selective approach preserves your skin's natural defenses while still maintaining hygiene where it matters most. This brings us seamlessly to the third point: the importance of choosing the right soap. This might seem like a minor detail in the grand scheme of things, but it's a decision that can make or break your skin's health. Many commercial soaps, those brightly packaged bars you find on supermarket shelves, are formulated with an alkaline pH, typically ranging between 9 and 11. While they might leave you feeling squeaky clean, they're far too aggressive for mature skin. Our skin naturally maintains a slightly acidic pH of around 5.5, which is critical for preserving its protective barrier and warding off harmful bacteria and environmental stressors. When you wash with an alkaline soap, you disrupt this delicate equilibrium, weakening your skin's ability to protect itself and leaving it prone to irritation. That's why I urge you to seek out a mild, pH balance cleanser, ideally one with a pH between 5.5 and 6.0. These gentler options cleanse effectively without stripping away essential moisture or compromising your skin's natural acidity. The result? Cleaner, healthier skin that retains its resilience and feels comfortable rather than raw. Fourth, let's discuss timing. Specifically, the golden 3-minute rule that I swear by. After you finish bathing, aim to apply your moisturizer within 3 minutes of stepping out of the water. Why the rush? Because in those initial moments, your skin is still damp, and its pores are slightly open, making it the perfect time to lock in hydration. If you dawdle, say, waiting 10 or 15 minutes while you dry off completely or get distracted, the water on your skin's surface begins to evaporate. As it does, it can pull moisture out of your skin, leaving it drier than before you bathed. To maximize the benefits, gently pat yourself with a soft towel, avoid vigorous rubbing, which can irritate, and immediately follow up with a high-quality moisturizer. Think of this step as sealing in a layer of hydration, like applying a top coat to protect a freshly painted surface. It's a small window of opportunity that can yield big rewards for your skin's health. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Fifth, let's get specific about what makes a moisturizer effective, especially for aging skin. Not all moisturizers are created equal, so it's worth being discerning about what you slather on. Look for products that go beyond simply sitting on the surface of your skin. Opt for ones packed with powerhouse ingredients like ceramides and hyaluronic acid. Ceramides are naturally occurring lipids that act like the mortar between the bricks of your skin's protective wall. They help lock in moisture, reinforce the skin barrier, and keep irritants at bay, which is especially crucial as that barrier weakens with age. Hyaluronic acid, on the other hand, is a humectant, a moisture magnet, that draws water from the air or deeper layers of your skin, plumping it up and smoothing out fine lines and rough patches. Together, these ingredients form a dynamic duo, tackling the dryness, flakiness, and tight, uncomfortable sensation that so many older adults notice after bathing. A moisturizer with these components doesn't just hydrate, it actively repairs and protects, giving your skin the support it needs to thrive. Finally, let's address a sobering reality that ties all of this together. The bathroom, while a place of cleansing and self-care, can also be a hidden hazard, particularly for older adults. Falls in the bathroom are alarmingly common and rank as the leading cause of injury among seniors. This isn't just a statistic pulled from studies. It's a truth I've witnessed time and again through personal experience and the stories of others. Wet floors, slippery tubs, and a lack of proper support can turn a routine bath into a dangerous event. Recovering from such falls becomes increasingly difficult with age, often leading to fractures, prolonged immobility, or worse. By bathing less frequently, using gentler products, and moisturizing effectively, you're not just caring for your skin, you're also reducing the time spent in this high-risk zone. Add in practical safety measures, like non-slip mats, grab bars, and a shower chair, and you can transform your bathroom back into the sanctuary it's meant to be, rather than a place of peril. Let me take you through a story that has lingered in my mind for quite some time, one that underscores just how fragile life can become with age. Last winter, an 88-year-old gentleman, someone who'd lived a full, independent life, stepped out of his bathtub after a routine soak. In that fleeting moment, his foot slipped on the wet surface. It was a split-second loss of balance. Nothing dramatic, nothing he could have anticipated. Yet, that single misstep sent him crashing to the floor, fracturing his hip in an instant. The ambulance arrived swiftly, whisking him away to the emergency room where surgeons worked diligently to repair the damage. The operation went smoothly. No complications, no errors. By all accounts, it was a medical success. But here's the heartbreaking reality. His life was never the same again. Post-surgery, he struggled to regain the mobility he'd once taken for granted. The simple act of walking across his living room became a Herculean task, one often accompanied by pain and frustration. His independence, something he'd cherished for decades, slipped away like sand through his fingers. Within months, he found himself packing up his belongings and moving into an assisted living facility, a transition that felt more like a surrender than a choice. That one fall didn't just shatter a bone, it fractured his entire way of life, his daily routines, his confidence, his sense of freedom. It's a stark reminder of how something as mundane as stepping out of a tub can unravel everything. Now, let's put this into perspective with a statistic that sends chills down my spine. 38% of all bathroom falls occur either during or immediately after bathing. That's not a small number. It's a glaring red flag. And for the elderly, the stakes are even higher. Research paints a grim picture. Seniors who suffer fractures from falls like these face a significantly elevated risk of mortality. A study from Severs Hospital, for instance, found that for individuals over 80 who fracture their hip, the one-year mortality rate hovers around 25%. Let that sink in. 1 in 4 don't make it through the year following such an injury. It's a devastating figure, and what's worse is how few people truly grasp the gravity of a simple fall. So, what's driving this epidemic of bathroom mishaps? Let's break it down into 3 primary culprits. First, there's the issue of slippery bathroom floors. Picture this: water splashes onto tiles, mingling with soap or shampoo residue. What you're left with is a slick, nearly invisible film, a hazard so deceptive you might not notice it until it's too late. It's like walking on an ice rink in socks. One wrong move and you're down. Second, consider sudden changes in blood pressure. After soaking in a hot bath, your body's blood vessels dilate, and when you stand up quickly, that shift can cause a rapid pressure drop. The result? A wave of lightheadedness or dizziness that throws off your balance at the worst possible moment. Third, there's the natural decline that comes with aging. Loss of muscle strength, slower reflexes, and diminished coordination. Pair these with a wet floor, dim lighting, or even a cluttered space, and you've got a perfect storm, a recipe for disaster waiting to unfold. But here's the silver lining. These risks aren't inevitable. They can be mitigated with straightforward, practical measures that don't require a complete overhaul of your home or lifestyle. Start with non-slip mats. Place one inside your tub and another on the floor beside it. These aren't fancy or expensive, but they're one of the most effective ways to anchor your feet and prevent a slide. Next, banish loose rugs from the bathroom entirely. They might look cozy, but they can bunch up or shift underfoot, turning a quick step into a stumble. Install safety handles, sturdy grab bars, near the bathtub and toilet. These aren't just conveniences. They're lifelines, offering critical support when you need it most. I've seen them make the difference between a close call and a catastrophe. Consider a shower chair, too. Sitting while you bathe slashes your risk of slipping by over 90%, according to some studies. It's a game changer. Simple, affordable, and incredibly effective. Beyond equipment, adjust your habits. Move slowly when exiting the tub. Take your time standing up, giving your body a moment to stabilize. If you feel even a hint of dizziness, sit back down and wait it out. Your safety outweighs any need to rush. And if you're over 80 or living alone, don't hesitate to ask for help. Swallowing your pride to call a family member or neighbor could mean the difference between staying upright and ending up in the ER. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Now, let's pivot to a fourth, often overlooked danger: temperature regulation after bathing. As we age, our bodies lose some of their ability to maintain a consistent internal temperature. Studies show that people over 80 can have up to a 40% reduction in their capacity to adapt to temperature swings compared to younger adults. This becomes a serious issue after a hot bath. Let me paint a vivid picture with another case that still haunts me. Last January, a 92-year-old woman decided to unwind with a long, warm bath before bedtime. It was a ritual she loved, nothing out of the ordinary. But after stepping out, she didn't dry off completely. She sat in her slightly drafty living room, still damp, wearing only a thin nightgown. Within an hour, her body temperature plummeted to 34.5 degrees Celsius, 94.1 degrees Fahrenheit, a textbook case of hypothermia. Her family found her shivering uncontrollably and rushed her to the hospital. She survived, but it was a terrifying wake-up call. This brings us to a critical, yet often ignored, aspect of post-bath safety: managing your body temperature. As someone who's seen the toll aging can take on skin and resilience firsthand, I want to share some practical, potentially life-saving tips to keep you warm and secure after bathing. First, warm your bathroom before you even step inside. Use a small space heater, safely positioned of course, or let the shower run hot for a minute to steam up the room. This small step minimizes the shock of moving from a toasty bedroom to a frigid bathroom, a transition that can strain your heart or trigger blood pressure fluctuations, especially if you have circulatory issues. It's not just about comfort, it's about protecting your body's systems. Second, the moment you finish bathing, dry off immediately with a warm towel. I can't emphasize this enough. Lingering moisture on your skin evaporates, and as it does, it siphons heat from your body, much like sweat cools you down in summer. In winter, though, this cooling effect can tip you into chills or, worse, hypothermia. Third, once you're dry, layer up quickly with warm clothing. Don't skip your hair. Wet strands can wick heat from your scalp, chilling your entire body over time. I've seen elderly folks brush this off, only to wake up with a cold or sore throat the next day. Slip on warm socks, a long-sleeved shirt, and a plush robe to lock in that warmth. Fourth, sip a warm drink after your bath. Think herbal tea, hot water with a squeeze of lemon, or even warm milk. It's not just soothing, it gently boosts your core temperature from within, helping blood flow smoothly to your extremities. Even a few sips can make a difference. Fifth, time your bath strategically, especially in winter. Aim for mid-afternoon, say, between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m., when the day is at its warmest. Morning baths can jolt an aging body with cold air, while evening ones leave you exposed to dropping nighttime temperatures. That midday window strikes the perfect balance, easing your recovery. Now, brace yourself for a fifth truth that might turn everything you've been taught upside down. Being too clean can weaken your immune system and leave you more susceptible to illness. I know, it flies in the face of the adage that cleanliness is next to godliness. But when it comes to aging skin, overzealous hygiene can backfire spectacularly. Your skin isn't just a barrier. It's a thriving ecosystem teeming with millions of beneficial bacteria, your skin microbiome. These microscopic allies form a natural shield, fending off pathogens and keeping your body in balance. Here's the catch. Frequent bathing, especially with harsh soaps, strips this shield away. While youthful skin rebounds quickly, for those over 65, the recovery is slower, leaving you vulnerable. I'll never forget a patient who brought this lesson home for me. An 83-year-old woman came to me last winter, plagued by persistent skin infections, angry rashes, and dryness so severe it cracked her skin. She'd been bathing daily with a strong antibacterial soap, convinced it was the key to staying healthy. Instead, she'd scrubbed away her skin's natural oils and microbiome, opening the door to harmful bacteria through tiny fissures. We overhauled her routine, cut back to bathing 2 or 3 times a week, switched to a gentle cleanser, and added moisturizer. Slowly, her skin healed. The infections cleared, the redness faded, and she told me she finally felt at ease in her own body again. This isn't just one person's story, it's backed by science. In a study I collaborated on with Seoul National University, we discovered something striking. Elderly individuals over 75 who bathed daily with soap had 35% lower skin immunity than those who bathed just 2 to 3 times a week. That's a wake-up call. So, how do you stay clean without sabotaging your skin's defenses? Here's my approach. Limit baths to 2 or 3 times weekly to give your microbiome a chance to rebuild. Ditch antibacterial washes. They're too aggressive, wiping out good and bad bacteria alike. Opt for mild, pH-balanced cleansers instead. Focus soap on high-odor areas, armpits, groin, feet, and skip the full body scrub unless it's necessary. Finally, keep indoor humidity between 40% and 60% with a humidifier. Dry air saps moisture from your skin, weakening its barrier. Change can feel daunting when habits are decades old, but as an ancient Chinese proverb wisely notes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. You can start today. No need to wait for a crisis. These aren't mere tips. They're acts of self-preservation, safeguarding your health, dignity, and comfort as you age. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this journey of uncovering the surprising truths about bathing after 65. I hope it's been eye-opening and empowering for you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What have you learned so far? Please take a moment to comment below this video with one thing you've discovered today that you'll bring into practice in your life. Whether it's adjusting your bath routine, adding a safety handle, or choosing the right soap, I can't wait to see how you'll make a difference for yourself or your loved ones. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us keep bringing you practical, life-saving wisdom to live not just longer, but better. Stay safe, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next one.